What's up, you guys? Film Fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review Halloween 2018 version. So, Halloween stars Jamie Lee Curtis, and what this film is basically about. It's about, 40 years after what happened on Halloween night in 1978. It's, like I said, been 4 years. Michael Myers has been locked up in an asylum for 40 years, and when Michael breaks out of the asylum, now basically chaos is ensuing again, and Laurie Strode has been basically preparing for this night for the past 40 years. So, what did I think of Halloween? I went into this movie with a lot of expectations. I did. I'm a huge fan of the original. The original is not just one of my favorite horror films of all time, it's just one of my favorite movies in general. It's such a simple movie, but it's so amazing in my opinion, and I love it so much. I've been in the Halloween series as a whole, besides the first one, is not the best. I like 2 and H2O a lot. I think those are the only really good sequels in the series. Everything else is just kind of okay to very bad, to be honest. And when I heard that this movie was going to be just a direct sequel to the original, ignoring the others, I was excited. I was like, okay, alright, let's see what this has got in store. Jamie Lee Curtis was coming back. It seemed like just everything was in place for this. And it just doesn't mesh well, to be completely honest with you. This movie is kind of a mess. Honestly, I really do think this is a pretty big mess, to be honest, honestly. I really couldn't get into this movie. I wanted to like this a lot. Trust me, I really did. All the chips were in place for this. All the chips were basically in place for this, but just some things were not executed very well, in my opinion, in this. And I really did enjoy this, to be honest. This is almost a terrible movie, in my opinion. I did not enjoy this all that much, to be honest. This is honestly not really a good movie. But I do have some nice things to say about it, and we're going to get into those first. So, before we talk any bad about this movie, let's get into the good. So, let's start off with the positives, shall we? So, here we go. Alright, so the positives with the movie. The positives are, first being, I thought, well, really, only 2 actors in the movie, to be honest, were really good. Jamie Lee Curtis is, once again, great as Laurie Strode. She's fantastic. She does a great job in this movie, in my opinion. I did really enjoy her. I'm glad that she came back, to be honest. It was awesome seeing her again, being a full-on badass. It was great. I enjoyed her in this movie. I thought she was really great, honestly, in the film. I quite enjoyed her a lot. Definitely gives another great performance as this character. The woman that plays her niece in the movie, I thought was really good too. I actually quite liked her a lot in the film. And really, they were the only 2 I really cared for in this entire film, to be honest. I both thought they were very good. I enjoyed both of their characters a lot in this film. I did think the finale was really good. I really do like the finale in the film. I do think the finale is pretty great. It's really what really elevates this from being terrible, in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. I will admit I was fully invested into the finale. I thought the finale was great. Very intense and very riveting, in my opinion. I did like the finale a lot in this movie. It was definitely the best part of the film. The music was very good too. I did like the music quite a bit in this movie too. I actually thought it was really well executed into the film. I thought the way that they handled it in the movie was actually really good. And honestly, yeah, definitely some of the best music I think I've heard all year, to be honest. I really love the music a lot in this movie. And lastly, with my positives, I thought the directing for the most part wasn't too bad, to be honest. It's not badly shot, in my opinion. The cinematography isn't too bad. The editing, in parts, it's not too bad. But yeah, the directing, I would say, for the most part, to be honest, isn't too bad with this movie. It's decently shot. The cinematography is, pretty nice. And the editing, at points isn't too bad. So, yeah. Really, that's all I got for positives with the movie, to be honest. So, I guess we should just get straight to the negatives, because, oh boy, I got a lot to say. So, here we go. Oh boy. Alright, so the negatives with this movie are, first being, I thought the rest of the acting in the movie was either just very bland or really abysmal, to be honest. Everyone else just wasn't that good, in my opinion. Judy Greer, I believe that's her name. I really didn't think she did all that great of a job in the movie, to be honest. I thought she was just kind of, her acting wasn't the best in the film. And really, the man that plays, her niece's boyfriend in the movie, he wasn't that good either. Just the rest of the acting really isn't that good. Besides Jamie Lee Curtis and the woman that plays her niece, everyone else is just not that good in this movie. Everyone seems like they're just kind of there, to be honest. Like, I really thought they just didn't really do a great job, in my opinion. I thought the rest of the acting wasn't the best in this movie. I'm going to be completely honest, for the most part, this movie really isn't that intense or scary, to be honest. I really didn't feel any intensity in this film, or really didn't feel frightened. Honestly, I really didn't find Michael Myers that intimidating in this movie, and I know some people are not going to really be like, they're going to be like, really? But honestly, I didn't really find him that intimidating in this movie. He definitely has some moments in this film that I did find him intimidating, but for the most part, I thought he was just kind of lame. I'm not going to lie, I thought he was kind of lame in this movie, to be completely honest with you. And I really didn't find that much intensity in this movie. Really, only during the finale did I feel any intensity or any, time I was like really on the edge of my seat waiting for what was going to happen next. Really, it's only during the finale. And besides that, don't really feel that much intensity in the movie, to be completely honest with you. Just some of the the biggest problem I have with this movie is its screenplay. Its screenplay is just so all over the place. Like, it's so, like, baffling. Like, it's kind of confusing, to be honest. It's like they don't know where they want to go with this, to be completely honest. Like, it's like they don't know where exactly they want to go with this. Like, it's so grounded in reality at some points, and then next thing you know, Michael Myers is, like, doing, like, an over-the-top kill in the movie. Like, it's so messy, and there's so many, like unnecessary plot points and stuff like that. Like, there's just things it's a mess, honestly. It just takes me out of the movie so much, to be honest. And there's something in the beginning of the movie that I'm not going to spoil it, just in case if you haven't seen the movie, but, like, there's a thing in this movie that I thought they could have really elevated a lot, and really could have been an interesting plot point in the movie. But, like, they stop it so quickly in the beginning of the film that I'm like, this could have been an integral part of the film, but yet you just do nothing with it. You do that with it. And it's so stupid, honestly. Like, the screenplay is so messy in this. And there was a twist in this movie that left me baffling. One of the dumbest twists I have seen in a long time with the movie. Like, seriously, I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe that the fact that this twist made it to the final cut of the movie. Like, I'm not surprised someone, like, stopped the screenwriters and was like, this is dumb. Please don't put this in the movie. This is dumb. No, they just kept it in there. What? Like, the screenplay is just a complete mess. It is my absolute biggest issue with this movie. And it makes this movie feel like such a mess, to be honest. Like, because it's just so all over the place. And it does not want to decide what it wants to do in this movie. And it's completely frustrating, honestly. And it made my viewing experience of this movie very frustrating because of that. And speaking of the over-the-top moments, this movie just gets a bit too ridiculous, to be honest. Now listen, I've seen it all with this franchise. Busta Rhymes does a kung fu kick in Resurrection, okay? I've seen it all. in with the ridiculousness with this franchise, but man, for a movie that was promoting that this was going to be such a much more grounded and much more, much more like grounded in reality and much more just surreal Halloween movie, it sure does take a lot of over-the-top elements in this movie. My God Almighty does it. And it becomes much. And even, I'm going to be honest, and some people might think this is a dumb criticism, but it gets way too graphic, to be honest, in this movie. It doesn't necessarily need to be what it feels like, because this movie is produced by Blumhouse. It feels like a modern-day Blumhouse movie when it really shouldn't. You know what I mean? And just some of the kills in this movie are, way too over the top. There's two in this movie that was just huh? One involves near a window, and the other, as my good friend Kane LaPlante would like to call it, the Game of Thrones kill. It seemed really? This is just a bit much, to be honest. And it just took me out of it at points, to be honest. It really did. I thought it just got a little bit too gratuitous for me. I'm just it doesn't need to really be this graphic, I think. It doesn't really, because what I loved about the original Halloween is that while the kills are definitely graphic in the movie, they're very, you can't really see it. It adds to the mystery of it. You know what I mean? It's very great, and that's why I loved about it a lot in the original movie. But here, it just gets really too ridiculous, to be honest with you. It just gets really over the top. I don't really like it, to be honest. And it really takes me out of the movie for a good portion of it. And, sometimes the directing isn't all the best. The editing at some points is oof. Ugh. And, yeah, and for the most part with this movie, I was very bored, to be honest. I really wasn't all that interested, to be honest, for the most part. I really felt this movie was dragging, to be honest. I was kind of just end already, to be honest. And when it was over, I was yeah, thank God, honestly, because it really does drag on for a good majority of it, to be honest. So, yeah. So overall, Halloween is very disappointing in my opinion. I know not a lot of people are going to feel that way, but for me, I expected a lot out of this movie, and it wasn't as good as I think it could have been, to be honest. I feel like if they would have gotten a better screenplay, didn't go as ridiculously over the top as it did, kind of gotten some better characters maybe, I think this could have been really great, but in the end, it just disappointed me big time. Honestly, I think I haven't been this disappointed with the movie since Justice League, to be honest. This really let me down. I was really looking forward to this and was hoping for something really awesome, but in the end, I got something that was almost nearly unbearable to watch, to be honest. So, yeah, it's time for my official grade on Halloween, and my official grade on Halloween is a C-. This is not that good, to be honest. I really did not enjoy this movie all that much. It's basically almost a complete mess, in my opinion. And I really didn't have a good time watching this. I really wanted to like this a lot, but it really wasn't that good. Like I said before, it has a really messy screenplay. A lot of the characters are not that great. It's not really that intense / scary for the most part. It's just a very... Like I said, it's an almost unbearable movie to watch, in my opinion. If it wasn't for the finale, I think I would have given this maybe a D+ or a D, to be honest, because really the finale is what saves this movie from being an almost total disaster. So, yeah, overall, I really didn't enjoy this movie that much. It's not that great. So, yeah, definitely deserves C-. So, if you have seen Halloween, what did you think of it? Please leave it in the comment section below. And I'm FilmFanDle599, and we will see you all later. Peace.